Deadly parasite affecting honeybee populations has been detected hundreds of kilometres from the initial sites in Newcastle. The varroa mite has been found in bee populations in Narrabri. It's been linked to previously known cases north of Sydney. Danny Feuvre is the acting CEO of the Australian Honeybee Industry Council. Danny, good morning to you. So, I was only told about this on the weekend and I've since dived into it a fair bit and find it utterly fascinating. So, is it under control?
Yeah, look, we're confident we've still got it contained. All the links, including the new Narrabri detection, have been directly linked back to the initial infections at north of Sydney at Newcastle. We are doing a lot of tracing work, and the new Narrabri site is as a result of the tracing that we've been doing, and it's showing that our tracing is being effective. So we are really looking to see where all the bee movements are, trying to find out where the spread is, where the mite is, get a ring around, and keep going with eradication.
I mean, bees, as we know, they're the workhorses of the agriculture sector. How far has it travelled now beyond that initial leak?
Yeah, look, we've been through thousands of hives outside of the Newcastle area, and we've not been finding it. So the Narrabri one, we found one mite in 400 hives, so very, very low infection. So we're still really confident that we've only got it around the Newcastle area and we can contain it.
How many individual premises is that?
I think we're up to about 24 individual premises so far.
Where the parasite is?
Correct, where we've identified the parasite, which is quite low considering the number of hives we've been through.
But I mean, how easily can it spread if one of those parasites gets on the move? I would assume that it could cause some damage, right?
Yeah, look, we know from overseas experience the quickest way this mite moves across the landscape is by beekeepers moving their hives and taking the parasite physically with their hives and spreading it around. So that's why we've enacted a statewide standstill for all hive movements to try and stop that spread by beekeepers and get a handle on exactly where it is.
So once you find it, how hard is it to eliminate it? I'm just trying to get into the science of it all.
Yeah, well, it is very difficult, Pete. It's a very small mite on a honeybee, which is not very big in itself. But look, we do have a number of tools available to us, both surveillance tools and eradication tools. So our attitude since we've had this incursion is to really go hard early, get it in control, get it contained, and get rid of it.
So do you look? Is it bee by bee or is it hive by hive? How are you getting in there?
Look, we have a couple of tools available to us. We can do sugar shakes, alcohol washes of the bees, which knock the mites off the bees, and then we can see them in the alcohol. We've also got some chemicals available to us, some miticides that we can put in the hive, which kills the mite but not the bee, and then we can catch those mites on the bottom of the hive and gives us really good surveillance tools. So we do have tools available to us. We're the last country in the world to be free of varroa mite, and so we've always been told it's not a case of if, but when we're going to receive it. So we have been looking overseas to see what tools they have available to them, the management of their bees, because they're all living with it as well. So we do have good expertise in the country and experience with the mites. So
what would it do? Worst case scenario, Danny, what would it do if it were to become or to become more widespread?
Yeah, sure. So that's not our aim at the moment. Our aim is eradication still. Yeah. But if it was to not be contained, it would have some short-term impacts on the honeybee industry. We would see a decrease in commercial beekeepers and beehives. Potentially put some pressure on our ability to do all the pollination that's required in the country. And it should not have an effect on any honey production at this stage, we believe. Okay. But like I say, we'll look to overseas and their experiences and learn how their management practices are. We'd have to pivot a little bit ourselves, change our management practices. It would add cost to the beekeepers, but we are comfortable that we would be able to manage and live with it.
Okay, Danny, good work that you're doing. Thank you for your time this morning. We'll talk to you soon.